Hey everybody, welcome to another video review. I decided to take the time now to showcase my Star Wars, Star Destroyers, Super Star Destroyers. I have three of them. I already showcased the Super Star Destroyer, which is the smallest of my three. Somebody online reminded me of the name of the kit. It's called the Corbanth kit. And I think it was made available through the replica prop forms many years ago. So this one is my largest, actually, ship. This is the Imperial Star Destroyer, the Avenger. And this was a kit made available by Randy Cooper, a very well-known Star Wars ship kit producer. Again, many years ago. I don't know if he even still makes these available. Let's get a little bit closer here to appreciate it. So he's a massive kit. This is a massive kit. And this is my hand actually on it. You can kind of get a feel for how big it is. Here's the plaque. Star Wars Episode 5 Empire Strikes Back, the Avenger, Imperial Star Destroyer. What's there to say? The kit itself was pretty expensive. I think it ran in the $400, $500 range. Pretty hard to get actually, to source. You had to get it directly, I think, from Randy Cooper. He didn't make a whole lot of these. As I'm talking, I'm just giving you some nice close-ups of the detail, the greebles on the side, for instance, all the detailing of the ship. Beautiful kit. Now, I didn't build this. From what I understand, people who have built it have complained of certain issues with the quality of the resin, the warping. Apparently, this is not for the faint of heart. It does take a pretty talented, experienced modeler to be able to put all of this together. So again, this was from a very skilled guy. I think he did a magnificent job building it together and painting it. Unlike statues, the paint job on these doesn't have to be exactly very complicated. Again, minimal shading, weathering is all that's required. The detail is sort of already there. A lot of it just has to do with cleaning up the resin, putting it together, and of course, the lights are what makes this hero, so to speak. Sort of lovingly skimming over all the surface detailing of this Star Destroyer. Backing up, here's the tip right here. Kind of a nice shot right over here. This is so big that, again, you can't really mask the background or anything like that. You practically need to have your own little studio to properly showcase this, which I don't. So I have it on my kitchen table, on my dining room table. I'm doing it at night when nobody needs to use it. Here's the superstructure. Kind of get an idea of the overwhelming amount of detail that comes with this kit. It's pretty amazing. Looks even better lit up, actually. So here's the bridge. Look at all of that. Of course, the shield generators on top. This, a little bit of history behind this model. The person who built it, Cygnus Models is his company. He actually built this for himself. Never meant to sell it. As you can imagine, very few people do plan to sell these things. It takes so much work to put this together. And unfortunately, real life intervened. He had some bills, I think medical bills, that had to be paid. He needed to get rid of it fast, and so he advertised on the replica prop forums, and I took him up on his offer. I felt like this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Normally, again, very difficult to find people who are willing to build these. These are all labors of love because of the time required to pull all of this together. And they usually take a lot of time as well. These are not easy to do by any stretch of the imagination. You can appreciate that. You normally have to wait a very long time. You know, a year is not unheard of, because again, a lot of these guys have real lives and jobs. They don't do this for a living full time. So when the opportunity came along to get one of these already built and lit, I felt like I just had to jump on it. I think I made the right decision. It's been 6-7 years, and you don't see these come up very often at all, and it's very, very difficult to source one, and then of course you have to ship it, and he really did an amazing job shipping it. How amazing? I think in all my years of collecting, before and since then, I have never seen a more amazingly packaged item. He essentially custom built a crate to house this entire Star Destroyer. It was padded. There was wood with nails put together. There was a superstructure. Everything was there, completely immobile with foam. It was, again, the packing in and of itself, you know, was like a work of art. I never seen again anything since to match it. And this beauty came without a scratch, without a crack, without a break. Everything lit up perfectly, and I'll still remember when I finally put it together and I held my breath and I plugged it in, and when it lit up, it was like Christmas morning. It was so impressive. I'll never forget that moment. And then my wife came home, and normally, you know, she is not a big fan of these collectibles, but when she saw that thing lit up, even she gasped. It was just something you'll remember for a while, a long, long time. So again, kind of backing up a little bit, get an idea of just how massive this thing is. Hopefully you're getting an idea of this, and I'm just walking around showing you. The one thing is, you know, the height of the pegs is very, very tall. But you know, it's so you can look on the undersurface. You can see here there's the docking bay where the Star Destroyer kind of eats up, right, the Rebel cruiser. So that's pretty cool. All that lights up. You can see the undersurface of it. And then all the way over here, this is the base. So one button actually lights up the Star Destroyer, and the other button lights up the base. I'm going to power the Star Destroyer with a portable battery pack, so you're not going to see the base light up too much, but it's kind of a little bit dull anyways, because I like to showcase, you know, the bottom of it, and the mirror was too small, so I actually custom made another mirror that was the entire width of the base, so you can just kind of see, again, you can see my iPhone, but again, you can see the base a lot more clearly, and I did that then to sacrifice the price I had to pay was I sacrificed the lights along the side. So there you go. You can still see a little bit of the dust. I was dusting it earlier. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Just the model, which I think is already, you know, pretty awesome. So let's light this thing up. So here's the battery pack. I just recently got this DC USB adapter, which is really awesome. And at the very bottom, right over here, is the hole. And if you plug it in, let's plug that in right there. Hopefully we can turn it on. Let's activate. And I'm not going to show you this until I back up. This is what it looks like, all lit up. So you can just imagine what that looked like. This is under lighting. So again, pretty amazing. Let's take a look at the lights. Again, he had to hand drill all of this and then thread the fiber optics. Look at all of this. Look at all of that. Hopefully you can see all the work that went into this. Beautifully done. Look at the sides. And of course, very, very nice touch on the engines flickering, so it looks like it's actively going. It's a beautiful touch on the major engines. Go out of the side. Backing up. Again, the lights make this essentially almost a shooting model. It just, you can essentially shoot the film with this practically. And let's look at the bottom. You can see the mirror showcasing the work on the bottom of the ship. And then let's try to, I don't know how this is gonna work here. I'm trying to show you this. There you go. So you can see that's beautifully lit from the bottom. There you go here. Okay. Now this looks amazing, but remember, it looks even better if you can take some of the lights away. So that's what I'm going to try to attempt to do. So I don't want to feel like cutting it, so I'm going to back out slowly. This gives you an idea of where it is on my kitchen table, how big it is. And then I'm going to turn the lights off. So all you see is the overhead lights, and I think now you get a chance to see it a lot better. By the way, this looks even more impressive in person. The lights glow. Pretty nice. Here you go. Bumping into things here. It's so big it won't fit actually even on my biggest turntable. And so I'm actually just walking around the Star Destroyer itself just to give you this panoramic view. So here you go. And then let's turn the lights off completely, so you have an idea of how this thing looks with no lights. This, if you can imagine, is the Avenger floating through the darkness of space. Doesn't get better than this, does it? Here we go. Here's the engines lighting up. The other side. Beautiful shot. The Randy Cooper Imperial Star Destroyer, the Avenger. One of my most prized collectibles. How good is that? Well, there's not a lot to say other than to sort of end on kind of my favorite shot right here. I'll try to frame it a little bit. So here you go. And in reality, the lights are actually blue tinge, but again, very, very bright. And if you look in the mirror, You can see as well. Very, very bright. Look at that. No detail was spared. Hope you enjoyed that. And until next time, do take care.